I have a job that moves a lot, but recently I've had to stay in one spot to be on Zoom calls, and my back and my neck are getting really sore. Any ideas on what I can do to help this? Well, with hypermobility, movement always feels better. For anyone trying to hold in one position for too long, tends to be pretty achy, and things tend to get sore and your muscles will even start to spasm. So having a job that allows you to move is so helpful. Now, in our current situation where a lot of us are either having to work from home or on a lot of Zoom or online calls, it's hard and it has a very different challenge, because if you've been on a Zoom call, which most of us I think have, trying to keep your face or your head within the frame, within the box, really kind of limits what you can do when you're on the call. So when you're normally in a group setting, like you might be able to move, shift, change position, but if you're doing it on a call, you really kind of pull that back in, because one, it's going to make the other person a little bit dizzy to watch you going all over, and two, we tend to be more self-conscious of it, whether we realize it or not. So a lot of times, like, we stay much more still. Now, there are some things that you can do to kind of add some of that movement and support into your day without being able to kind of get rid of the Zoom calls and the online things. One is a standing desk. So if you have one, please use it. I'm always shocked at how many people actually have a standing desk now or a standing option and don't take advantage of it. You know, we kind of get in the habit of, well, when I'm on my computer, I sit and do this, and we forget that we can actually bring it up, or on the electric ones, press the button and raise it up to a standing height. If you're somebody who doesn't have that option, if you're on a laptop, no, this doesn't work for a desktop really, but if you're on a laptop, pick it up and move it with you. I've done this on Zoom calls. For anyone who's actually had a Zoom appointment with me, like, I do it on my computer and I'll pick it up and I'll walk to a different place. So you can put it on a countertop, you can change position, and you can kind of keep yourself in the frame while you're moving around and going to that new spot. Now, while you don't want to be moving all the time, it actually works pretty well for a short period of time. So that's option one. Option two is actually have a surface that has some movement and give to it. So today, I'm going to show you, I've got a ball chair. Love ball chairs. This is something that we have in our office, and you can just sit on a ball. It doesn't actually have to be a chair, or you can get one that actually comes with the chair part and the back on it, so it doesn't roll away from you. So then when you're sitting, it allows you to kind of have that weight shift compression where you can kind of move around, or at least move your low back and your body around a little bit without having to actually move around the room. So it gives you that option a little bit better. Now, another type, this is a balance disc, and they're squishy, kind of more like an unstable seat. You can do the same thing by just placing it in your chair and then sitting on it. And so again, it gives you that kind of movement where you can be shifting around and engaging those muscles through your core and your back, which are going to actually help make you feel better. With both of these, the answer is not you switch to using a ball chair and you're going to do that now for 8 hours a day. The solution is when you have the ability to rotate. So maybe you have multiple Zoom calls or multiple Zoom classes. You know, each class, change your position. Go from sitting to standing to using some sort of like ball or unstable surface, and keep rotating through. You're not going to love any single one of them for a really long period of time. That's part of what goes along with the hypermobility. So have your things you want to try planned out, so that way as you are focusing on your work or your classes, you can just kind of rotate through, and it works pretty well. Now with standing, because I get a lot of complaints like standing is hard, And I have a standing desk, but if I stand too long, then my back gets sore, my hips get sore. And again, one position, it's gonna be hard on you. So there are some things that you can do though. One is to use like your chair and put a knee on it. So I'm back up here so you can see what I'm doing. So you can kind of do one knee, and then you're gonna switch sides. So all it does is it changes the kind of the force and the movement through your back, which muscles are having to engage to hold you up. And again, it allows you to just kind of change directions. A second thing that you can do that is easy is put one foot up on a step. This can be a step, like a step ladder. It can be a box. It can literally be a cardboard box. But anything you've got where you can put a foot up the bottom rung of a desk, just to kind of help change that pelvic position. And so that way you're getting a little bit more movement through your hips rather than standing and having your back starting to strain to hold you up. And those you can just cycle back and forth. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to hold one for a certain period of time before you switch. You can just make adjustments. And then lastly with standing, we can take our balance disc and you can actually stand on it. Now that's gonna make you work, and I do mean work pretty hard. So depending on what your balance is to start with, this may be something that you enjoy the challenge, you might get really good at. This may be something that if you're having a hard time balancing to start with, adding this in while you're trying to work, not a good idea. So stay to the level that you are at and focus on cycling through all those different options, whichever ones are going to actually be beneficial and pertinent to you, and focus on those.